Chapter 29. The Art of Stillness Meditation as a Tool for Focus to 9.1. Finding the Dragon's Stillness. Quieting the Minda, mortals you chase clarity, grasping at focus as if it is something to be caught, subdued, captured like a fleeting ember in the wind. But listen well, hatchling stillness is not something to be forced. It is something to be remembered. The storm in your mind does not need to be silenced, it needs to be understood. You believe focus comes from effort, from struggle, from forcing the mind into submission. But tell me, does the river fight its own flow? Does the fire demand to burn in a single direction? Or do they move naturally, shaped by the forces that guide them? Meditation is not the removal of thought. It is the mastery of awareness. It is the art of stepping beyond the storm, watching without attachment, existing fully within each breath. Consider, do you fight your thoughts, or do you observe them without becoming entangled? Where does your mind drift when left unchecked, and what does this reveal? What changes when focus is approached with presence rather than with force? A dragon does not fear the winds. It listens. It understands. It moves with intention. Dragos. Trial, the test of stillness bows. Close your eyes. Let the storm of your thoughts rise without interference. What do you hear beyond the noise? What remains when you do not react? How can you train yourself to sit within the movement of thought, mastering awareness rather than demanding silence? True presence is not found in controlling the mind. It is found in understanding its nature. 29.2 Breath as the anchor. Techniques for presentia. The breath, the foundation of focus, the tether to stillness, the single force that remains constant within all movement. You take it for granted, using it only when necessary, forgetting that within its rhythm lies the key to your own clarity. You chase focus as if it is something separate from you. But listen closely, presence is not something to be sought. It is something to return to, again and again, like the breath itself. When thoughts race, when distractions rise, when tension clouds clarity, the breath remains. A single inhale, a single exhale, and suddenly you remember stillness. Consider, do you control your breath, or do you allow it to guide you into presence? How often does breath align with awareness, sharpening rather than fragmenting focus? What shifts when attention is centered within the inhale, the exhale, the effortless rhythm of life itself? A dragon breathes deeply, not because it must, but because fire requires presence, and presence requires breath. Dragos. Trial. The breath of the dragon. Practice this technique. Inhale deeply. Hold. Exhale slowly. Observe how your body responds. Notice how clarity sharpens within each cycle. Commit to using breath as your anchor, rather than forcing concentration through tension. Mastery is not found in controlling the mind. It is found in training it gently, like the wind guiding a flame. 29.3. Beyond the cushion, bringing awareness into every handa, awareness you treated as something limited, confined to moments of stillness, separated from action, as if meditation is something that ends when movement begins. But tell me, does a dragon forget the wind simply because it moves? Does the river abandon flow simply because it reaches new terrain? Presence is not an isolated state. It is meant to be carried into every action, every decision, every breath beyond the moments of meditation. The masters understand. Stillness is not confined to the absence of movement. A warrior does not need silence to focus. Presence sharpens even in the midst of action. Meditation extends beyond sitting. The strongest minds remain centered in every challenge, in every turn, in every hand played. True clarity is continuous. You do not return to awareness, you remain within it, always. Consider, do you treat meditation as something separate from life, or as something woven into every moment? Where does presence falter when distractions rise? What shifts when awareness is carried into every action, rather than reserved for moments of reflection? A dragon does not forget focus once it moves. It sharpens within every flight, within every challenge, within every storm. Tragos. Trial, the path beyond the cushion. Take meditation into movement. Each time distraction arises today, return to breath. Each time tension clouds clarity, step back into presence. Each time action feels reactive, refine it through focus. Meditation is not a ritual. It is a state of being. Carry it with you. Final words from Zoran. Stillness is not the absence of thought. It is mastery over awareness. Presence is not the absence of distraction. It is remaining centered despite it. Meditation is not confined to a practice. It is the way one walks through existence itself. Breathe deeply. Observe fully. And remember, a dragon does not forget the wind simply because it flies. It moves within it, always. The cards are waiting. Play them with focus. This chapter deepens the cosmic scale, integrating meditation not as passive reflection, but as mastery over awareness in every aspect of existence. Zoran challenges the reader to step beyond fragmented focus, train presence through breath, and carry meditation into movement not as a practice, but as a state of being.